The stars burned cold above the endless golden savanna when the human ship tore open the sky. Engines screamed one final cry before silence swallowed them whole. Metal twisted and burned as the freighter slammed into soft earth. Dust rose like a slow storm, blocking the twin moons for many heartbeats. Flames licked the broken hull, then died, leaving only smoke and the sharp smell of scorched alloy. Elara Voss crawled from the wreck. Her left arm hung limp. Blood soaked her sleeve, but she ignored the pain. She pulled herself upright against a jagged wing section. Legs shook, yet held. Her helmet was gone somewhere in the tumble. Goggles cracked across one lens. She spat grit from her mouth and looked around. This world was not on any approved chart. The Kara homeworld stayed closed by treaty. The massive golden-furred felinoids ruled here. They walked on 4 legs when hunting, stood tall on 2 when they spoke. Their prides claimed wide territories, waterholes, rivers, ridges, all marked. With scent and claw, they had ships now, crude ones, but enough to earn watchful eyes from above. Still, instinct ruled them more than code. Elara knew the basics from old briefings. Apex predators, pack hunters, matriarchs-led prides, fought over land, food, mates. Cubs learned fast or died. She carried no gun, no blade, only the multi-tool clipped to her belt, and a small medkit strapped across her chest. Supplies meant for strangers, now useless, except what she could drag free. She limped away from the wreck. Heat still rose from the metal. Night would come soon. Cold would follow. She needed shelter, high ground, something defensible. She moved toward a low ridge. Trees grew sparse there, twisted by wind. She climbed slowly, each step careful. Breath came short. Ribs ached, probably cracked. Halfway up, she heard them. Deep rolling growls rolled across the plain. Not one voice, many. Young, strong, hungry. Voices overlapped in challenge, then fury. Elara froze. She dropped low behind a boulder, hammered. She peeked over the edge. 4 large shapes moved below. Adolescent Kara, almost full size. Manes just starting to thicken around thick necks. Golden fur gleamed under moonlight. They circled a trampled patch near a cluster of rocks. 2 smaller cubs huddled inside the rocks watched with wide eyes. Elders, 3 thin old females crouched at the edges. 1 limped badly. The 4 adolescents snarled at each other. Raka, the biggest, lunged first. He slammed Vesh shoulder to shoulder. Both reared up, claws flashing. Thalor darted in from the side, trying to shove them apart. Sira hung back, then leaped onto Thalor's back, biting his scruff. All roared louder. Bodies twisted, fur flew. Elara watched patterns emerge. This was no random fight. Ritual ruled it. Each tried to prove strongest. Each wanted the protector place. The Prime had died recently. Elara guessed from old blood scents on the ground, and the way the elders kept glancing at empty space where the leader once stood. Prime the pride weakened. Rivals would come soon. These young ones fought to fill the gap, to guard the weak, to claim leadership. She stayed hidden until the brawl slowed. All 4 panted, sides heaving. None had clear victory. They glared, circled again, ready for more. Elara stood up slowly. No point hiding forever. They would smell her soon anyway. She stepped into open ground, arms loose at sides, no sudden moves. The 4 heads snapped toward her instantly. Raka growled low, chest rumbling. Vesh ears flattened. Thalor showed teeth. Sira tilted her head, curious. Elara raised empty hands, palms out. She spoke soft, steady. No one understood her words, yet tone mattered. She said calm things like, "Easy now, no trouble here, just passing through." Words did not need meaning. Voice did. They advanced slowly, spread out. Instinct told them surround the strange thing, small, no claws, no fangs, upright like elders, but wrong scent. Human scent. New. Alien. Rakar reached her first. Over her easily, twice her height, on hind legs. Golden eyes narrowed. He lowered his head, sniffed close enough she felt hot breath on her face. And he straightened, roared once, loud claim. Vesh shoved in beside him, snarling challenge. Fowler pushed from the other side. Syrah circled behind. All postured, manes fluffed, tails lashed. They roared over each other, louder, fiercer. Each wanted to stand as guardian over this odd new creature. Each wanted the right to guard her first. Ilara did not run. She did not crouch. She sat down right there in the dust, crossed her legs, opened the medkit, pulled out bandages, antiseptic wipe. She cleaned the cut on her arm, slowly, carefully. No flinch, no fear. The roaring faltered. Rakah blinked. Vesh stopped mid-snarl. Fowler tilted his head. Syrah sat back on haunches, watching. Ilara wrapped the bandage tight. She tied it with one hand, using teeth for the knot. Then she looked up at them, one by one, met each golden gaze, held it steady, growled again. Softer, confused. Vesh took one step closer, sniffed the air. Thalor rumbled deep in throat. Syrah made a small churr sound, almost question. Ilara spoke again, low. You four seem busy fighting over nothing useful. Maybe save some energy for real threats. She pointed toward the horizon, where dust rose faint. A rival pride, maybe? Scouts. Maybe just wind. She did not know. They did not understand words, but they felt the shift. Something changed. The four looked where she pointed, then back at her, then at each other. Tension still hung thick, but the blind rage faded. Curiosity crept in. Ilara stood up slow. She brushed dust from her pants. She walked 3 steps toward the rocks, where the small cubs hid. The elders watched wary, but did not move. Raraka followed first, Vesh next. Thalor hesitated, then came Syrah last. They formed loose half-circle around her. Not attack, not yet. Guard, maybe. Claim, maybe. Ilara stopped near the rocks. She knelt, looked at the 2 tiny cubs. Inside. They trembled but stared back brave. She smiled, small. Lifted one hand, slow palm up. One small cub crept forward, sniffed her fingers, then licked once, quick. The adolescents rumbled soft. Not threat, different sound, almost approval. Ilara rose. She looked at the 4 big ones. You want to guard something? Then guard what matters, she said quiet. First the little ones, then the old ones, then whatever else needs it. Fight later if you must. Right now, stand watch. They did not move right away. They stared at her, long moments. Golden eyes searched her face for weakness. Found none. Rakah finally stepped closer. He stood beside her tall, shoulder almost level with her head. He looked out across the savannah, ears forward. Vesh took position on her other side. Thalor moved to cover the rear. Syrah stayed near the rocks, watching the small ones. For the first time that night no one roared, no one lunged. They stood together, strange pride, human at center, 4 young Kara. Around her, each claimed guard duty in his or her own way. No winner yet, no loser, only watch. Ilara exhaled slow. Pain throbbed in ribs. Arm burned under bandage. She ignored both. She looked up at stars, saw rescue beacon, probably still pinging faint. Maybe days, maybe weeks. Until then, she had company. 4 adolescent cubs who fought over who would guard her. Now they simply did it, together, unsure why, following the calm, clawless thing who refused to fear. Night deepened. Cold wind moved through grass. The pride waited. Ilara waited too. Something new began on that savannah, something no galactic report had predicted. A human sat in the dust. 4 young predators stood around her. And for one quiet night, no blood spilled. The sun rose hot and bright over the savannah, turning the grass to gold. Ilara woke with first light. Her arm throbbed under the bandage. Sleep had come in short pieces, broken by pain and the low rumbles of the 4 young Kara, who stayed close through the night. Raka lay nearest. His massive head rested near her feet, golden eyes half open, watching. Vesh stretched out on her left side, tail flicking slow. Thaler curled behind her like a living wall blocking wind. Sira sat upright a few paces away, ears swiveling at every small sound. The 2 tiny cubs slept in the rocks nearby. Elders kept guard over them. Ilara sat up slow. Every muscle ached. She stretched careful, then stood. The 4 adolescents rose with her, heads turning toward her as one. They made soft chuffing sounds, almost questions. She looked at each in turn, then spoke calm. "You 4 still here? Good. Now we work. No more fighting over me. We do useful things instead." Raka rumbled deep, chest vibrating. Forward first, chest puffed, ready to claim again. Vesh shoved in beside him, shoulder bumping hard. Thalor growled low, pushed between them. Sira darted around, trying to slip closer. All 4 postured, manes fluffed, tails high. They started to snarl louder, each trying to stand tallest over the small human. Ilara clapped her hands once. Sharp, loud sound cut through morning air like a whip. The 4 froze mid-roar, ears flattened, eyes wide. They had never heard anything make that noise. She pointed straight at Raka. "You have good eyes. Go up that ridge. Look for dust clouds or moving shapes. Tell me what you see." She spoke slow, clear, knowing words meant nothing, but direction mattered. Raka blinked, stared at her finger, then at the ridge. He growled soft, unsure, but curiosity won. He turned and loped away, powerful legs eating ground fast. She turned to Vesh. "You move quick. Go to the stream. Bring water. Use that big leaf thing you carry things in. Fill it. Come back fast." Vesh tilted his head, ears forward. He chuffed once, then bounded off toward the thin line of green where water ran. Fowler got the next point. "You strong. Pull branches from those fallen trees. Drag them here. We make the den opening harder to enter." Thaler huffed, puffed out chest proud. He lumbered toward the dead trees, already sniffing for the best ones. Sira waited last, eyes bright, attentive. Ilara knelt to her level. "You watch the little ones. Keep them quiet. Keep them close. If they wander, you bring them back. You are good at noticing things." Sira made a small chirr sound, almost pleased. She moved to the rocks, sat down facing the tiny cubs, tail wrapped neat around paws. Ilara watched them go. Each took the task without fight. No snarls, no shoving. They moved quick, almost eager. She exhaled slow, then started her own work. She pulled metal scraps from the wreck, small plates, wires, tubes. She used the multi-tool to bend, shape, connect. She built a simple frame to hold a solar still. Drip clean by afternoon. Hours passed. Sun climbed high. Heat pressed down. Raraka returned first. He trotted up, panting, sides heaving. He stopped in front of Ilara, dropped to forelegs, lowered head. He made a low rolling sound, then jerked his muzzle toward the far horizon. Ilara followed his gaze. She saw faint dust, thin line, moving slow. Too far to tell friend or foe, but moving. "Good eyes," she said firm. She reached up slow, patted the thick fur along his shoulder once quick. Raraka froze, then leaned into the touch, just a little. Vesh came next. He carried a huge broad leaf, folded into a shallow bowl. Water sloshed inside, clear. He set it careful at her feet, then sat back, proud chest out. Ilara tasted the water. Fresh, good. She nodded once. "Thank you, fast runner." Vesh rumbled, pleased, tail tip twitching. Fowler arrived, dragging 3 thick branches, longer than Ilara tall. He dropped them with a thud near the den mouth, then looked at her expectant. Ilara pointed. "Strong. Stack 'em tight. Make a wall. Thalor set to work, muscles bunching under golden hide. He wedged branches firm against rock. Elara helped brace one end with her good arm. Together they built a rough barrier, stronger than before. Sira stayed put. The tiny cubs played near her. One tried to chase a bug. She nosed it back, gentle but firm. When the other strayed toward open ground, she picked it up by scruff, carried it back. Elara watched, smiled small. Good watcher. By midday, the four gathered again. They circled Elara. No fighting this time. Each waited his or her turn to show what they did. Raraka reported danger direction. Vesh brought water. Thalor built defense. Sira kept peace. Elara sat on a flat rock. She looked at them all. You did well. Each job matters. No one job bigger than another. You guard me by doing these things. Keep doing them. We stay safe together. The adolescents chuffed soft, almost agreement. They settled around her. Loose circle. Raraka on one side, Vesh on the other. Thalor behind Sira, near the little ones. Afternoon brought trouble. Low growls rolled from the east. 3 shapes appeared on the ridge. Scouts from another pride. Lean, hungry eyes locked on this weakened territory. They saw the human, saw the 4 young ones, saw easy prey. The scouts spread out, moved slow, testing. Raraka stood first, ears flat, growl building. Vesh rose beside him. Thalor stepped forward, massive paws silent. Sira moved to shield the rocks. Elara stood too. She picked up a long metal rod from the wreck, held it loose. She stepped between the 4 and the approaching scouts. The scouts paused, confused. Small thing, no claws stands against them. Elara spoke loud, clear. Go away, this pride not yours. Walk back the way you came. Words strange but tone hard. Scouts snarled, answered with deep roars. Raraka lunged first. Vesh flanked right. Thalor charged center. Sira stayed back, guarding weak points. The fight was quick. Scouts strong, but outnumbered. The 4 moved together, not separate. Each covered the others. No blind rage, only purpose. One scout broke free, tried to circle toward Elara. She swung the rod hard, cracked it across his foreleg. He yelped, retreated. The scouts fell back fast, limping, dust rising behind them. Silence returned. The 4 came back to Elara, panting, fur matted with sweat and dirt. They pressed close. Rakan nudged her good arm. Vesh licked once, quick at her hand. Thalor rumbled deep. Sira chirred soft. Elara knelt, touched each forehead in turn. Good team, she said, quiet. You did not fight each other. You fought for something real. That is how you guard. They settled again closer this time, bodies touching hers, warmth against evening chill. Elara looked at the sky. Rescue still far, but day by day, his strange pride grew stronger. Not from one leader roaring loud, but from small tasks, shared purpose. Night fell, stars bright. Cold wind moved soft through grass. Stayed near. No one claimed her alone. They all did, together. Elara closed her eyes, listened to their steady breathing. Something new took root here. Something quiet, something strong. Days passed, slow and steady, under the hot savanna sun. Elara worked without rest. She used every scrap from the wreck to make small things better. She built a better water still, from plastic sheets and metal tubes. Water dripped clean and cool into a shallow basin dug in the shade. She set up noisy alarms, thin wires with bits of metal that clanged when touched, simple early warning for anyone who came close. She dug a fire pit deep, lined it with stones. Fire burned low at night, gave warmth without big flames to scare the pride. The 4 adolescents changed bit by bit. Raka no longer puffed his chest first to claim. He waited for his task. Vesh stopped shoving others aside. He listened when Elara spoke. Thalor used his strength. Careful now, not wild. He placed things exact where she pointed. Sira watched everything, her eyes sharp. She noticed small details others missed. Ilara gave tasks every morning. She rotated them, so each got time close to her. Each got chance to guard her direct. Called it sitting watch. One stayed near while she rested or worked. Others did other jobs. Raka scouted ridges often. He came back fast, told her with low rumbles and head jerks where dust moved, where shadows shifted. Vesh carried water, food bits. He hunted small game, brought fresh meat for the little ones. Thalor built more barriers. He stacked rocks around the den, made paths harder to climb. Sira kept the young cubs in line. She played with them, taught them quiet moves, kept them from wandering into danger. The elders watched from the rocks. They whispered low growls among themselves. One old female, the prime sister named Keshra, stared longest. She saw the fighting stop. She saw the young ones work as group, not rivals. She rumbled soft to the others. They guard her now, like she leads. Alara never roared, never showed teeth. She spoke quiet, gave praise when tasks done well. Good eyes, Raka. You saw that before anyone else. Fast legs, Vesh. The water came quick. Strong paws. Thalor, the wall. Stands firm. Sharp watcher, Sira. Nothing slips past you. The words meant nothing, but the calm voice, steady look, made the cubs stand taller. They started to compete different way. No claws, no bites. They raced to do better. Who brought clearest report? Who carried most water without spill? Who built strongest brace? Who kept cubs happiest longest? Raka found new trails. Vesh learned to stalk silent. Thalor moved rocks faster. Sira taught the tiny ones to hide quick. One evening after sun dipped low, Alara sat by fire pit. The four gathered close. They groomed each other, gentle tongues over fur. No snarls, no pushes, just quiet care. Keshra approached slow. She stopped few paces away, lowered head, looked at Alara long moments. Then she chuffed, deep sound, almost approval. She turned, walked back to elders. The other old ones followed her lead. They no longer watched wary. Now they watched calm. Next morning, trouble came bigger. Dust rose thick on northern horizon, not scouts, full patrol. 6 large Kara adults, manes thick, voices deep. They moved steady toward the Pride territory. They smelled weakness. They smelled new strange scent. They came to take. The 4 adolescents sensed them first. Raka stood tall, ears forward, growl building low. Vesh flanks twitched. Thalor paws shifted weight. Sira moved quick, pushed tiny cubs deeper into rocks. Ilara stood. She picked up her metal rod, gripped it firm. She looked at the 4. Listen, we do not run. We stand. We use what we practiced. She pointed quick. Raka, you take left ridge, watch their flank. Vesh right side, stay low, move fast. Thalor center with me, hold ground. Sira back with little ones, make noise if they break through. The cubs moved instant. No question, no fight for position. They took places like she said. The patrol reached edge of territory. Lead male, big scarred, roared challenge. Claim this land. Claim weak pride. Claim strange small thing. Ilara stepped forward. She raised rod high, made herself tall as she could. She shouted loud, clear. This pride, mine now. Walk away or face us. The adults laughed, deep rolling sounds. Small clawless thing dares speak. They charged. Raka moved first. He darted left, used rocks for cover. He roared loud, drew 2 attackers his way. Vesh flanked right fast, shadow. He nipped heels, turned one male, circled back. Thalor stood solid in front. He met the lead male chest to chest, claws out, but held. Ilara stayed behind him. She swung rod, cracked one knee of side attacker. He yelped, stumbled. Sira stayed back. She roared high, sharp, kept cubs hidden. She threw small rocks, made noise, confused the attackers. The fight stayed controlled. The four did not rush blind. They covered each other. Rakah drew attention. Vesh struck quick. Thalor held line. Elara directed short commands. Left now. Watch back. Hold. Hold. One attacker broke toward Elara. Thalor spun, blocked him, slammed him down. Rakah leaped on top, pinned him. Vesh nipped from side, rolled belly up. The lead male saw his patrol falter. He roared once more, tried final push. Thalor met him head-on. Elara slipped aside, swung rod hard against his shoulder. He staggered. The patrol broke. They retreated fast, limping, tails low. Dust swallowed them. Silence fell again. The four returned to Elara. They panted, fur bloody in places but none deep. They pressed close. Raka nudged her arm. Vesh licked her hand. Thalor rumbled deep. Sira chirred soft. Elara knelt. She touched each one, gentle on forehead. Good you stayed together. You used your places. You guarded what matters. Keshra came forward slow. She looked at the four, then at Elara. She lowered head, full deep bow. Neck bent low, shoulders down. No Kara did this to outsider, ever. The elders followed. One by one they bowed. The pride changed that day. No prime needed. The human gave no roars, no claws. Yet the young ones followed. The weak ones trusted. The strong ones yielded. Rescue beacon, still faint. Maybe soon, maybe not. She did not mind. She had pride now. Real pride, built on tasks, shared meaning, found in simple things. Night came, stars bright, wind cool, the fire burned low. The four slept close around her, warm, safe, together. Something strong grew here, quiet, steady, unbreakable. The days grew hotter, and the savanna wind carried new scents of dust and strangers. Word spread fast across the plains. A human lived among the weakened pride. She gave no roars, yet the young ones followed her. The chaotic litter now moved as one. No more endless fights, only purpose. The news reached strong prides far away. They saw chance to take land, to claim power, to end this strange thing. One morning the sky stayed clear, but the air felt heavy. Raka stood on the highest rock, ears forward, tail stiff. He growled low, warning. Vesh joined him, sniffed deep. Thalor rumbled from below. Sira pushed the tiny cubs farther back into the den shadows. The elders rose slow, old bones creaking. Keshra, the prime sister, stepped forward, her eyes narrow. Elara felt the change. She stood from her work on a new trapline. She looked where the four stared. Far horizon showed dark shapes, many. Not scouts, not patrol, a full coalition, 10 adults at least, led by a massive scarred male, his mane black at tips, already rolling thunder across distance. They came straight. No detour, no doubt. They came to destroy. Elara gripped her metal rod tight. She turned to the four. Listen close. This time bigger. They want everything. We stand or we lose. The adolescents pressed near. Rakan nudged her side. Vesh licked quick at her wrist. Thalor stood tall, chest out. Sira cheered soft but firm. They understood. No words needed. Elara pointed fast. Rakah left ridge high ground. Spot their moves. Vesh right flank stay hidden. Strike when they split. Thalor front line hold with me. Block the center. Sira guard the den mouth. Keep little ones safe. Make them quiet. Use noise traps if needed. The four moved instant. Each to place. No push, no claim. They trusted her plan. The coalition arrived. Slow, spread wide. Lead male stopped forward, roared loud. Claim. This land, this pride, this weak, strange thing belongs to us now. Submit or die. Elara stepped out front. She stood between Thalor and the attackers. Human. No claws, no mane. Yet she raised rod high. She shouted clear, "This pride mine, these young ones mine. You want them, come through me first." The adults laughed, deep, cruel sound. "Tiny things speaks big words. We crush you, then take rest." They charged. Dust rose thick, roars shook ground. Raka from left ridge saw first. He roared sharp warning. 2 attackers peeled off toward his side. He waited until close, then leaped down, used speed, slammed one sideways. Claws raked but pulled back quick. He darted away, drew them chase. Vesh on right stayed low grass. He moved silent shadow. When 3 turned his way he struck fast, nipped heels of one, turned another, circled back. Confused them, split their line. Thalor met center charge. Lead male crashed into him, chest to chest, both reared claws out. Thalor held ground, pushed back step by step. Alara stayed behind him. She swung rod hard, cracked one attacker on foreleg. He stumbled. Thalor used moment, shoved harder. Sira at Denmouth roared high, kept tiny cubs pressed low. She triggered one wire trap. Metal clanged loud, startled one attacker who tried side approach. He jumped back, gave her time to throw rocks, sharp hits on nose. The fight stayed tight, the coalition strong, but the 4 used every lesson Alara taught. Flank, feint, hold, cover, protect weak spots. No blind rush, only team. One big female broke through toward Alara. She lunged, claws out. Alara ducked, rolled side. Thalor spun, blocked, slammed her down. Raraka leaped from side, pinned her. Vesh nipped from behind. She submitted fast, rolled over. Lead male roared fury. He pushed harder against Thalor. Alara slipped close, swung rod low, cracked his knee. He staggered, roared pain. The coalition faltered, saw leader weaken, saw young ones fight smart, saw human direct without fear. Another attacker tried rush Alara again. Vesh darted in front, took hit but held. Thalor shoved lead male back. Raraka and Vesh flanked others. Sira Noise kept rest confused. Looked around, saw his coalition break. One by one they backed, tails low. Some limped, some bled. He roared once more, final try. Then turned, retreated. Fast, dust swallowed them. Quiet fell, heavy breathing, only sound. The 4 limped back to Alara. Fur torn, small cuts, blood on claws. They collapsed around her. Raka pressed head to her chest. Vesh licked her hand, gentle. Thalor lay beside her, side heaving. Sira curled near feet, cheering soft. Alara knelt slow. She touched each one, careful on wounds. You held, you fought together. You used everything we practiced. You guarded what matters most. You are pride now, true pride. They purred deep, rumble shook round. All 4 together, sound-filled air, warm, strong. Keshra approached slow. She looked at the young ones, then at Alara. She lowered head full bow, neck low, shoulders down. Then she stepped close, nudged Alara's shoulder, gentle. The other elders followed. One by one they came, bowed low, touched nose to her hand. Soft chuffs of thanks. The tiny cubs crept out. They tumbled over the 4 adolescents, licked faces. Playful now, safe. The pride gathered close. Circle around human and young ones. Warmth against cooling evening. Ilara sat in middle. She looked at each face. Golden eyes bright. No fear, only trust. She spoke quiet. You fought not for one, not for glory, for each other, for home. That is real strength. Night came, stars bright, wind soft. The fire pit glowed low. The pride slept tight. Raka head on her lap. Vesh against her side. Thalor behind wall of fur. Sira near tiny ones. Elders around edges. all one. Something unbreakable grew here, built on tasks, on shared fights, on quiet leadership. No roars needed, only steady hand, only calm voice, only meaning found together. Rescue beacons still pinged faint, somewhere far, but Ilara no longer rushed. She had pride, real pride, loyal, strong, whole. The savannah rested. Under twin moons the strange family waited, ready for whatever came next. The beacon finally pinged strong. A faint signal grew louder each hour. Rescue team tracked the crash site. They came careful, slow. Ships landed quiet on the far ridge. No loud engines, no bright lights. They knew the world below held watchful predators. They knew one human survived here. Ilara heard the low hum first. She stood from the fire pit. The 4 adolescents rose with her. Raka ears forward. Vesh tail stiff. Thalor rumbled low. Sira moved quick, pushed tiny cubs back into den. The elders gathered close. Keshra stepped beside Ilara, looked at sky with her. 2 figures in suits walked down the slope. Helmets sealed, voices muffled through speakers. They carried no weapons, only scanners, lights, small cases. They stopped far enough to see, but not threaten. Human survivor, Ilara Voss, the lead said calm. We read your beacon. We come to extract. Medical check. Transport off-world. You safe now. Ilara nodded once. She raised hands slow. The 4 growled deep, chests vibrating. Forward, formed line. In front, Raka on left. Vesh right, Thalor center, Sira near den. They showed teeth. Low rumbles rolled out. No one approached without her say. The suited figures froze. One raised hands, palms out. Easy. We mean no harm. We here for her only. Ilara spoke quiet. Down. Easy. They guard me. They decide who comes close. The 4 quieted instant. At her voice, at her hand lowered. They stayed alert, but no longer bared teeth. The rescue team watched stunned. The young Kara moved as one, each new place, each watched different angle. Raka scanned left ridge, Vesh right flank, Thalor blocked direct path, Sira kept rear secure. Tiny cubs peeked out, but stayed hidden. Elders sat calm behind human. The lead-suited figure spoke low into calm. This matches reports. Pride unified around human. Subject displays novel coordination. No dominance fights. Observed protective formation. Recommend record all data. Ilara stepped forward slow. She walked to edge of circle. With her, kept her center. She looked at suited team. You come far. Thank you. But this pride mine now. They mine. I stay bit longer. Make sure they strong. The team leader hesitated, then nodded. We wait your call. Medical kit here if needed. Food, water, gear. Take what you want. They set down cases, backed away slow. The 4 watched every move. No attack, only guard. Ilara turned to Keshra. The old lioness met her gaze. Ilara reached out, touched thick fur along neck. Gentle. You lead when I go. Keep them safe. Teach what we learned. Keshra chuffed deep. Lowered head once. More. She stepped back, joined elders. Ilara knelt in front of the 4. Raka first. She touched forehead, looked into golden eyes. You saw far. You warned first. Keep watching ridges. Keep pride safe. Vesh you next. Fast strong. Bring water. Hunt smart. Stay quick. Thalor you hold line. You strong but smart. Use strength to protect, not just fight. Sira you watch close. You notice all. Keep little ones learn. Keep elders calm. Each one leaned into touch. Purring soft. Rumbles shook air. They pressed heads to her hands. Arms, shoulders, chest. Warm fur against skin. Ilara stood. She looked at whole pride. Elders, tiny cubs, adolescents. All eyes on her. You fought together. You built together. You found meaning, not in one roar, not in one claw, in shared tasks, in care for each other. Keep that, you strong now, true pride. The four stepped close again. They groomed her arms, gentle tongues over sleeves. They nudged her legs. They circled slow, one last time. Elara walked toward shuttle ramp. The team waited. She turned once more, looked back. The pride stood together. Golden fur bright under twin moons. Rakaya tall, Vesh swift, Thalor solid, Sira watchful, tiny cubs at feet, elders behind, all one. She raised hands slow, waves small. Goodbye, she said quiet, voice carried on wind. The four answered, not separate roars, one sound, deep rolling, rose from chests, echoed across savannah, loud, clear, not challenge, not grief. Pride, pure pride. The sound rolled out, filled night, reached far plains. Other prides heard, stopped, listened. Something new, something different. Elara climbed ramp, door closed, soft. Engines hummed low, shuttle lifted slow, dust swirled below. From high up, she saw them, still standing, circle tight, heads raised, eyes on sky, golden shapes in silver light. The shuttle climbed, stars grew bright, planet fell away. Inside, rescue team spoke quiet. Report filed later read simple. Human integration success. Subject species now shows new social structure, centered on assigned roles. Reciprocal loyalty. Pack bonding observed at unprecedented level. Recommend continued observation. Humans remain unpredictably pack-forming. Elara sat by window, looked down one last time. She smiled small. Hand rested on chest, where their warmth still lingered. On the savannah below, the pride turned away from sky. They moved together. Raka led scout, Vesh carried fresh kill, Thalor checked barriers. Guided, tiny ones, Keshra walked last. Old eyes calm. They no longer fought over who guarded. They guarded all. They found meaning in simple tasks, in quiet trust, in shared life. The human gave no claws, no roars, only steady hand, only calm voice, only example.